Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island team is visited by Nova Scotia's top politician, and the drill finally digs into the money pit. This week on The Curse of Oak Island, the giant oscillator drill finally began turning at the money pit, and the team started making friends in high places after a visit by Nova Scotia's top politician, Premier Tim Houston. After weeks of hearing about preparations for the big dig, drilling finally began on last night's episode. However, we had to wait until the last few minutes of the show before the giant oscillator finally began turning. Unfortunately, we will all have to wait at least another week before anything is revealed. Marty Lagina assembled all the troops at the money pit and gave another one of his trademark emotional speeches. He thanked the guys for all their hard work and reminded them that they were part of something special. The first 10-foot caisson to be driven into the ground was christened the Fellowship One, or TF1 for short, and each member of the team signed the can. And some added a personal message such as "To all who were here," and "Digging for answers and for my brothers." Once this pageantry had come to an end, the honor of switching on the oscillator drill fell to Marty. The drill began turning just before the end credits started to roll. Those folks who feel a little impatient with the progress so far should bear in mind that the new grab hammer will be able to pull up a whopping 11,000 bulbs of earth per scoop. If there is treasure down there, they should get to it very quickly. Nova Scotia leader Tim Houston paid a visit to Oak Island. In the meantime, Billy Gerhardt showed he's not only a wizard with a digger, but he's also a shrewd political networker. He managed to arrange a visit to the island of Nova Scotia's newly elected Premier, Tim Houston. The position of Premier is equivalent to a state governor in the US, so this is a man with a fair bit of clout and definitely someone the guys would like on their side. Marty and Rick saw this as the perfect opportunity to show the Premier what they've achieved on the island and what they are hoping to achieve. They explained how Nova Scotia's Department of Communities, Culture and Heritage, CTH, had limited their access to. The brothers tried to explain the importance of their work on Oak Island to the Premier and stressed their frustration at being hampered by various government agencies. The Lagina brothers seemed reasonably impressed with Houston, who definitely came across as sympathetic to the cause. He kept stressing the need for common sense to prevail and suggested a coming together of people and organizations to discuss a way forward with the current impasse at the swamp. Oak Island team needs friends in high places to move forward. If all goes well, this could be great news for the future, as it's always good to have friends in high places to help smooth out any obstacles that could be encountered along the way. The guys are terrified the CTH will someday try to shut down their work at the money pit, but having Premier Houston as a friend and ally might help prevent that. On a crisp autumn morning, the wind carried with it the salty scent of the Atlantic Ocean as the team gathered around the drill site on Oak Island. The clang of metal echoed across the still water as the drills bit deeper into the earth, slowly approaching the legendary money pit. After years of relentless searching, countless theories, and a trail of mysteries leading them further into the unknown, they stood on the brink of either the greatest treasure or yet another dead end. But today was different. Today the team wasn't alone. A convoy of black SUVs had arrived on the island, bringing with it an air of gravity and expectation. Out stepped Nova Scotia's top politician, Premier Annabelle McCaskill, a woman known for her sharp intellect and no-nonsense approach. She was here, not just as an observer but as a symbol of the province's support for the treasure hunt that had become a cultural phenomenon. The Curse of Oak Island had long captivated the hearts and minds of viewers around the world, and McCaskill wanted to witness firsthand the next chapter in its unfolding story. Rick and Marty Lagina, ever the calm and determined brothers, greeted the Premier with a mixture of excitement and quiet confidence. Rick, with his ever-present curiosity, had a gleam in his eye, while Marty, the more pragmatic of the two, exchanged a firm handshake with the Premier. McCaskill wasted no time with pleasantries. "I've heard about this place all my life," she said, her voice firm but laced with curiosity. "Now I want to see what all the fuss is about. Are we really on the verge of something big?" Marty smiled, the weight of years of investigation and speculation evident on his face. "We hope so. The drill's right on target, and if our data's correct, we'll be hitting the money pit within the next few hours. Years of legends, and here we are, close to the heart of it all, Rick added, his voice filled with the optimism that kept the team going, even when things seemed bleak. As they approached the drilling rig, the air was charged with anticipation. The familiar faces of the Oak Island crew were hard at work, but there was an added tension today. Everyone knew that today could mark the moment they'd been waiting for, or it could simply be another chapter in the island's long history of misdirection. Craig Tester, Jack Begley, and Gary Drayton were gathered by the drill, their faces a mixture of hope and skepticism. Gary, the metal-detecting expert who had unearthed numerous historical artifacts over the years, gave a nod to Premier McCaskill. "You've come at a good time," he said with his signature enthusiasm. "Today could be the day we find something extraordinary. Gold, silver, who knows?" McCaskill smiled, though she clearly had her reservations. "I've always been more of a skeptic myself," she admitted, "but you never know. I've seen stranger things in politics." The drill churned loudly, a mechanical symphony that had become the heartbeat of the island over the years. The ground vibrated beneath their feet as it continued its descent into the unknown. As the minutes ticked by, the team watched the progress with bated breath, each turn of the drill bringing them closer to the fabled depths where treasure was said to lie. Then the drill bit hit something different. A deep, resonant thud echoed through the equipment, followed by a brief silence. The crew exchanged glances, and a flurry of activity followed as they carefully extracted the drill core. Charles Barkhouse, the team's historian, stepped forward, his eyes narrowing as he examined the core sample. "That's wood," he said after a few moments. "Old, weathered wood, and deep down too, where it shouldn't be." The excitement in his voice was palpable, and the others crowded around to get a look. Rick's heart raced as he stared at the core. Could it be part of the fabled wooden platforms said to line the money pit? Or perhaps the remnants of an ancient structure built by those who had hidden something valuable beneath the island centuries ago? "This could be it," Marty muttered under his breath. "We could be looking at the edge of the money pit." Premier McCaskill, for the first time, seemed genuinely intrigued. "You're telling me that wood's been buried down here for hundreds of years?" "Possibly longer," Charles replied, "and the deeper we go, the more we'll know." They resumed drilling, the energy at the site now electric. Every inch brought them closer to an answer, and the Premier, despite her earlier skepticism, was caught up in the excitement. The entire island seemed to hold its breath as the drill went deeper, its progress slow but steady. And then it happened. The drill broke through into what felt like a void, a hollow space deep underground. The equipment juddered, and the crew scrambled to adjust, carefully withdrawing the drill once again. Rick's hands trembled slightly as they pulled up the next core sample. This time it wasn't just wood. A dark, metallic gleam caught the sunlight, and the team erupted into a flurry of activity. Gary Drayton, his metal detector practically buzzing in his hands, was the first to react. "That's not just any metal," Harry exclaimed. "That's gold." For a moment, the island fell silent. The weight of history pressed down on them, the collective memory of all who had sought the treasure over the centuries, seemingly present in that single gleaming fragment. The Lagunas, the team, and even Premier McCaskill stared at the sample, unable to fully comprehend the significance of what they were seeing. Rick was the first to speak. "We've done it," he said quietly, his voice thick with emotion. "After all these years, we found something." Marty, ever the realist, stepped forward, examining the core closely. "We've found something," he agreed, his voice measured. "But the real question is, how much more is down there?" The Premier, now fully invested in the moment, smiled. "Whatever it is, gentlemen, it looks like Oak Island's curse might finally be lifting." The drill resumed its work, but now the island was alive with a new kind of energy. The mystery was far from over, but for the first time in years it felt as though they were on the verge of unlocking its deepest secrets. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows over the island, the team knew that this day would go down in history.